In this lecture, we're going to be setting up the running animation. Select our player in the hierarchy and click the Player Animator controller in the Animator component to open it up. Let's jump into our parameters and add a float variable called speed. Next, let's create a new state and call it run. Set the motion to Little Adventure Andy run. We want the run animation clip to loop. Double-click on the run state. Scroll down until we find loop time. Make sure Little Adventure Andy run is selected. Then check the loop time option. Hit apply to save the change. If speed is greater than a certain value, we know the player is moving and we want the animator controller to switch to the run state. We're going to tell the animator controller to transit from the idle state to the run state when the speed parameter is greater than a certain value, and transit from the run state back to the idle state if speed is less than that value. Let's right-click the idle state, select Make Transition, and link the transition to the run state. Next, click the transition arrow. We're going to set up the behavior and condition of the transition. We want the transition to happen immediately, so let's uncheck Has Exit Time. We also want the transition to happen smoothly, so we're going to set transition duration to 0.1. Next, let's add a condition. Hit the plus icon under the condition bar. We can see a new condition is added. The parameter is speed by default because it's our only parameter for now. The default condition is greater, which is also what we want. So we're just going to set the value to 0.1. Next, we need a transition from the run state back to the idle state. Let's right-click the run state, select Make Transition, and link it back to the idle state. Select the transition, uncheck Has Exit Time, set transition duration to 0.1, and add a condition. Set the condition to less, and the value to 0.1. We finished setting up the animator controller. Before it to actually work, we need to update the speed parameter in our code. Let's open up the character script. At the top, let's declare a variable of the type animator and call it _animator. It's going to hold a reference to the animator controller. Let's get and store the animator in a wake function. In calculate player movement function, after we figured out the new _movement velocity, we're going to set the speed parameter to the magnitude of _movement velocity. Let's jump back into Unity to test. There we go. Everything works perfectly. And if you keep the player game object selected, you can see which state is currently activated in the animator window.